Hey, how's it going? My name's JP, and welcome to another episode of the Escape the Grind podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about my journey through gym ownership, how I got into it, how I decided to sell it, and how that whole process went down. So, it was a fateful day in 2007. I took my first CrossFit class and I was immediately hooked. I think this is probably a common story for anybody who's in the CrossFit space and some other, boutique style fitness. Maybe it was your first martial arts class, BJJ class. You did Orange Theory, you did whatever. You got into fitness somehow, and so I was hooked. And I did it off and on until 2009. 2009, I took my level 1. I took the plunge. I got serious. I did it. I got certified. I went on an absolute rampage, an absolute tear of just running my poor little college credit card for certifications. I got every certification that I could. I absolutely loved it. I still have a folder full of them. And I became, a head coach, and then I became a manager, and I helped somebody else open their gym. And I got all this experience, and I got a level 2 and a level 3 and, blah, blah, blah. And it was great. And then in 2017, I got the opportunity to open my gym. I actually purchased an existing gym, and my wife and I ran it together for a few years. And it was awesome. Like, I got the opportunity to be the guy. Like, I got to be the head quarterback, the cool guy. I got to run the thing. I had the busy classes with the music. And it was really fun. And I enjoyed it for, that whole time that we did it. Parts of it were tough with the young family and all that, but it was what I thought it would be because I had done it for so long before. And I was really happy in it. But then the shutdowns started to happen, right? The times we're all wearing masks and the craziness. And so where I was in Calgary, we were closed down for 3 months and then open for 3 and then closed for 3 and open for 3, et cetera, et cetera. So we were on this vicious cycle for 2 years. We were open for 3 months and closed for 3 months. And so, people were really great and supportive for maybe the first 6 months. But after that, it just started to dwindle. And it was, you'd get a few new members when you were open and it would drop back off. And you can't blame people because you're asking them to pay for a service they can't use. Although we did go full in, we did online. And when we shut down, like, we went hard. I got a camera and the equipment, and I made the videos, and I did the personalized programming, and everybody's on the app. And like, I worked 60, 70 hours a week during shutdown. That's the most I've worked at my gym in my life when it wasn't even open. And so needless to say, that burned me out. And that wasn't a great time. That was a low point. And then when we opened back up, I just didn't have the same luster for it anymore. After 2 years of just being put through the ringer, I was like, man, the wind is out of my sails. I've kind of achieved what I think I can achieve in this business. And my only other option to really scale is to open more locations. And I don't want to do that. So my only other option was to sell. So we came to the conclusion to sell. And that's when I really got the drive. I mean, I did have the drive prior to really systemize and make a business out of this thing instead of just a job. That had started actually prior to shutdowns. But, it really lit a fire into my butt where it's like, hey, let's do this thing. Let's systemize. Let's figure out how to market and sell and staff and do all these other things so that it becomes really attractive to a buyer. And that work to me was easier to do to a point because I had a known goal. Like, a lot of people want to build their gyms up because they want to make more money. Okay, cool. What's an extra 5K or 10K a month going to get you? I don't know, right? That's not, but very objectively, like, I had just lost the spark for this thing. And so finding somebody who wanted to do it and, selling the business gave me back my freedom. Right. And that was huge. That was more than a couple extra $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever a month could buy me because I didn't want to do it anymore. It became, from something, a labor of love to more of a burden. Right. And to free myself from that burden was now my primary goal. And I think, at first it was hard to admit that because you put your, all your heart and soul into this baby, and you spent over a decade acquiring the skills and the relationships and this and that to make it run. And then you're like, I guess I'm done. But I had my journey and I don't have any regrets about that, but it was initially hard to come to the conclusion that, like, yeah, this isn't for me anymore. And so we listed it for sale. Now, it went around and, we spoke to coaches first, and then we spoke to some members. And then, we shopped to a few other local gyms, and we listed it with a broker. And it's funny because we got some bites initially, and one of the first people who was interested in it came back a year later. So it was on the market for a year. And in speaking with the broker, He said that it could take anywhere from a year to 2 years. And so the average of that would be 18 months. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's figure out how to make this thing run. Let's make it profitable and let's make it more attractive to buyers. Well, more profitable, but let's make it more attractive to buyers when they come in. And so that was what I spent my time doing. And through that process, we had some, LOIs, some letters of intent fall through. We had some lowball offers. It's one of those things, like when it's on the market, it's great because you're hopeful it's going to sell, but you got to keep running it as if it's not going to, just making it a better and better, facility for yourself to work in. Because when you actually systemize it and create a business that's worth buying, it becomes easier for you to run because you make more money. You don't have to work as much. You don't have to do the things that you don't want to do. And you can just start to see this thing grow and blossom. So it is a bit of a reinvigoration that way as well. But after the year went by, we got an LOI, and it was funny because we got like 2 or 3 letters of intent at the same time. And it was really like, I didn't want to do like a, let's do a bidding war kind of a thing. It was a go with the flow thing. It was like, hey, you know what? We're going to interview these people. They're all going to make, as long as it's a reasonable offer, in the ballpark of what we wanted, we'll go with them because we just want the sale to, to be smooth and to go through, and obviously to go to the right people. It's important, but you never know who's gonna knock on your door. And at the end of the day, we're in the fitness business, and so it's not rocket science. A lot of people are capable of coming in and doing that job. So we went through the process, and it took 3 months or so to go through everything from LOI to due diligence to closing. And there's always going to be delays. There's going to be a lawyer delay and and someone's gathering financials delay and a bank approval delay, and there's lots of delays. But once we had the right people, I didn't have doubts that it was going to go through. Like, sure, there was a chance, somebody could get cold feet or whatever it is. But that whole process took about 3 months. So from the first initial listing, that took a year to find the buyer. And then from the buyer submitting the LOI to close was another 3 months. So that's the process. That's my story in a nutshell. I mean, that's definitely the quick version, but I started with this spark. And it's funny because I ended with a spark, but it was a different kind of a spark. It was definitely more on the business side rather than the the operator or sort of technician role. And that really helped move me forward to the finish line. But that's my story in a nutshell, and that's a very quick sort of synopsis of what happened through the sales process. So if you're thinking about selling your gym, just know what to expect. You've got to start putting it out there. You've got to post it for sale if you want anybody to be able to purchase it. And in the meantime, you've got to start implementing systems to make it attractive for buyers and then make it easier for you to run. So anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. If it helped you out, do me a favor and share it with a friend. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.